In this video, I will show you how to work with fit maps. It's a feature that is in the 3D window, and it is right here on the drop downs inside of the 3D window. So let's take a look at that. And I've also given you a PDF, which is right here, about garment fit maps. So you can take a look and see what the different features are and what the different options mean. That's a table of contents, and we're going to take a look at garment fit maps. So here we have an explanation for every single one of the drop downs. The first one is stress map. So let's take a look at that. It is again right here, and you can see when you hover over it, it will tell you stress map. So first of all, let me just turn her garment into monochrome surface so we can see better the stress maps. So here, stress map, I'm going to left click on that once, and we see that we get a mesh overview, and we can see some areas of white, and then we see some more of this teal green mesh over it. And now we also have a gradient here that tells us what the stress map is from 100 down to 0. So let's take a look at the PDF. Stress map displays the force per unit area in kPa applied to a garment by external stress. So we see the force per unit. So how much does it stretch? So let's take a look at strain map. Strain map is the next one right here, and now we can see that we have some red area and some also green and yellow area, and we can see that the stretch is all the way up to 120%, and we can see where that stretch is. As it goes more towards green and blue, that means that it's a little looser around the body. So let's take a look in the PDF document. Strain map displays how much a garment is stretched around the body in percentage relative to a non-stretched side. How much is it stretched in relation to itself in various areas? It simply means that the red is really stretched out, and then the green areas are looser. So if you have something that's really tight, you can take a look at this and see where is it stretching around the body and where is it staying loose. So for example, here, if you want this to be tighter, closer to the body, you might want to change your pattern to be skinnier. So you might curve the side seam, for example, or take in a little bit more here so this becomes tighter and turns more yellow or reddish if you wanted to stretch a little more. So that was strain map. The next one is fit. So again, we're going to come here. I'm going to scroll and go to the one that says fit map. So now we have the monochrome outfit, and we have just red and yellow. And you can see here, yellow means that it's tight around the body, but fine. Red, it means that you cannot wear. So here, because we have this simulated wrong outside of the body, you can see that how much this is actually stretched out. Obviously, this is not something that we want to have, but in general, we'll have to fix this anyway. But I thought it's a good example to show you how much this area is stretched. And let's take a look at the PDF. Fit map displays how many sections of the garment have reached the limit strain of the fabric on the avatar. So here, for example, if we take a look at this example, that means that this garment is unwearable because it has so many red areas that are truly really stretching beyond the max of the fabric. So even though it's simulating fine, in reality, the wearer in this size with this fit will not be able to wear that garment. And the last thing that we have here is show pressure points. So let's go to that. Show pressure points is this one. And this one, I can also turn off the fit map or keep it on. So if I turn it off, I see much better what the pressure points are. So you can see again where in these particular areas, that's where pressure is being applied, and where is it a little bit looser. So let's take a look at this again. Show pressure points displays contact points between the avatar and the garment. So here's a looser t-shirt in this example, and we can see it is loose around the body, around here the waist and below the breast, and it is obviously touching here the shoulders and on her hips, which is fine. So again, stress map, there's an example here, displays the force per unit area applied to a garment by external stress. Strain map is this one here, displays how much a garment is stretched in percentage relative to a non-stretched side, meaning in relationship to itself. And then fit map, this one, displays how many sections of the garment have reached the absolute limit. So I think this one is really useful to you, because if you turn on the fit map and you see that there are a lot of red areas or any red area, that means that that garment is unwearable in real life. In this document, you can also take a look at the next pages and read a little bit more about about what stress map means, how does it distort the garment, and what does that mean to you as a designer. And they give you examples with different fabrics here, so take a look at that. Strain map, again, the external stress that causes a garment to distort, and as a result the garment is stretching. And how far is it stretching? Where is the limit? If you're really wanting to create a garment that can be worn, how much is this garment stretching? Is this particular fabric stretching? And what is it going to look like in real life?
If you're enjoying this content, if you like these videos, leave a comment, ask me a question, like the videos, subscribe to Bobbin Talk for more content. That will help the YouTube algorithm push me up a little bit, help me do more videos for you, and I'll see you next time.
And the fit map, again, this I think is very useful to you. Each fabric has a maximum distortion. The value is determined by stretch, shear, stiffness, physical properties of the fabric. And a red means that you cannot wear. So you need to truly change the patterns for that particular garment. And you can take a look at the garment fit properties. There's another way to pull up these particular options, and that is in preferences, garment fit properties. And now you can see stress, strain, and fit. And you can take a look at your percentages, and you can take a look at the options that you have here. And back to the PDF document now. They also give you an example of how you can work with this and what are the good practices to consider fabric and make sure you're applying the fabric that will be used on the real garment. It is very important to properly measure physical properties of a fabric, to consider exactly what is the fit that you want to consider and how that particular fabric will stretch or how it will react when it's on the body. When you're using an avatar, make sure you're using an avatar in the correct size for the correct pose, because all of that will affect what the fit looks like. And high resolution, use high resolution and simulate after every single drape or every single change on your pattern. And you can also change the simulation mode to fitting, which means accurate fabric. And also a couple of other things here. They give you an example of how you can play with the different strain maps and how you can change the properties here. So read through that and make sure that you understand how it affects the fit. And then there's an option to also export the garment fit maps, but I think at this point that is not that useful to you. I think the most useful feature here for you is the fit maps, and to understand that if we have red areas, then that garment is unwearable and you need to change your patterns to fit better.
If you like this video, if you learned something new, please click the like button, subscribe to Bobbin Talk. This will help the YouTube algorithm. I'll be able to do more videos, and I'll see you next time with more knowledge for you.